I'm going to give you the questions that you should ask any lender before you commit to using their services. Realtors, these questions apply to you because you need to know what questions your home buyers should be asking of the lender. And finally, for my loan officer friends out there, my originators, my brokers, my VPs of lending, if you can't solve for nor answer these questions, just don't come complaining to me that you're not capturing and converting your fair share of business. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus, you are tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen, and my main man,
JC
John Coleman.
Dio, what's popping?
Another day, another dollar.
Yep.
Yes. Today I'm rocking a Band-Aid on the tip of my nose. You know what I was thinking driving over, John?
You didn't want to do the episode because of how you look today?
False. You know what I didn't want to do today because I have a Band-Aid on my nose? I didn't want to create the ad for our partners, Adium.
Oh, shout out Adium.
That you and I are going to have to create.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that to you, man.
But, no. I thought Nelly rocked a Band-Aid under his eye back in the early 2000s.
Please stop aging yourself.
Maybe I can rock the Band-Aid on the tip of your nose for the 2025.
You should have just let it ride and just not commented on it.
I can't do that. I cannot do that.
That's like bringing attention to the stain
Yes.
that only you can see on your shoe or your pants, and then it ruins your night.
I love playing Captain Obvious. Like, let's go ahead and point it out. Let's go ahead and point it out right now. Hey, look, I went to the dermatologist this morning. I didn't even give it two thoughts. I called yesterday to schedule a meeting. This never happens. Or to schedule an appointment. This never happens. Mm-hmm. I call like, oh my gosh, someone just canceled. We can get you in at 8:45. I'm like, hell yeah, I'll be there at 8:45. Well, then I'm there. I'm doing my skin check. They're looking at my nose like, hey, there's a spot here that we'd like to biopsy. I'm like, yeah, let's go ahead and I'm here. Let's do it. Not really keeping in mind that I'm driving to the studio to meet you, and we're going to create a couple episodes and do some YouTube content.
Man. That's the way to live life, man. Don't nobody give a shit about that Band-Aid on your nose, Nelly 2.0.
All right. Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's call it...
Don't. You're going to try so hard and go down a rabbit hole.
All right. We won't do that.
Okay.
All right. We won't do that.
No housekeeping items today? You're going to hop right into the episode.
No, here's my housekeeping item. Mortgage loan originators. I have 3 things that you must do if you have not done this already. Okay, my mortgage brokers. First, I need you to go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel. Second, I need you to go to tloponline.com and sign up for the newsletter. It's free. I write it. It comes out every Thursday. And then third, if you are not investing in your business, I need to ask you then, why are you in business? You can invest in your business through the purchase of technology, by going to conferences, purchasing leads, or what I have found in my career to be the most ROI proven investment is one into myself, and that's with coaching, business coaching, sales training. We offer something that is unlike anything else in the marketplace. It is the most value for the dollar that you can invest. It's called the TLOP MLO coaching community. You need to look into this if you're not currently being coached, if you're not currently investing in your business. So go to our website, tloponline.com. You can schedule a free consultation with one of my TLOP members who will answer your questions, give you a little bit of free career advice, and then show you behind the scenes of what you're missing, but what everyone else is currently using to have some of their best months ever. Like, shout out. I'm going to give a couple shout outs to people in the TLOP community. Lindsay just let us know that she had a record-breaking month, $4.7 million in volume. Now, I don't know Lindsay's comp plan, but I'm going to tell y'all that's probably between $40,000 and $60,000 in personal commission.
What?
Manny down in Miami is funding $3.7 million. These are all people who reached out to us this week that were reporting their numbers. Okay. Manny, I don't know his comp plan, but that means he made between $30,000 and $60,000 last month. And then Jordan, now he's a rookie originator, right? So Jordan's been in the business for less than a year. He texted October is going to be his first $1 million month. And that's like a big deal, right? These are all people that are learning from me. They're learning from our 5 coaches, which by the way, are all studs in the industry. And they are going into the e-learning platform. They're watching our training videos. They're downloading our scripts. They're downloading our marketing ideas. And more importantly, they're doing the work. They're putting into play what we're teaching and what we're learning. So there's my plug. That's my housekeeping. Y'all need business coaching and sales training. It doesn't have to be by us. It could be by your branch manager. It could be by others that offer similar services in the marketplace. But if you're not investing in your business, I'm going to need to ask you, why are you in business? All right. Now on with the show, John.
Okay.
And as I teased in the soft open, this came up on one of my coaching calls, and I was like, damn, I haven't taught this in a long while, in a hot minute. It's probably a good chance you and I have yet to cover this on one of our 400 episodes.
Yeah, I believe this was episode 474 or something.
Wow. You know what's crazy? In the on the YouTube channel. So yesterday, Mark and I were adding the latest videos to all of the various playlists. Could we have a playlist for investors, home buyers? We have a playlist for mortgage loan originators. And on the mortgage loan originator playlist, we have curated my favorite 110 training videos or podcast episodes that I think bang, or as I said earlier, they eat when it pertains to teaching mortgage originators how to be more successful and better. But anyhow, when I was on the YouTube channel and I was thinking about coming in today to do content, I don't think we've done what we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
So we're going to jump right into it.
Let's go.
It's an oldie but a goodie. So early on in my career, I'm talking 20 plus years ago, I remember listening to a audio tape, a cassette tape. And in that audio cassette tape, it was like, here are 3 questions that you should tell your prospective borrower, which, by the way, if you're a home buyer, you are the prospective borrower. If you're a loan officer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And teach them what the right answer is. Therefore, when they're quote unquote shopping lenders, if that lender down the road can't answer the question, then that should be a telltale sign for the home buyer that's not a good lender. So a lot of what I'm going to be talking about today and teaching on, discussing, is based on what was taught to me 20 years ago. I've just made it more modern, right? Because what you and I do is we're shaping the future of the mortgage industry. We're talking about becoming a lender that represents 2030, not one that represents 2010. In fact, that was one of the main reasons I chose Lower to be a part of and to go work for and to help them build and grow, is when I look at what Lower's doing, they represent, in my opinion, my professional assessment, a lender that wants to be all about the 2030s and not someone who's stuck in doing things the 2010s. So that really embodies what you and I do here on TLOP. So I'm going to start with the 2010s. And for me, it was actually 2004, but then we're going to push it into the 2030s. So what was taught to me 20 years ago is the inspiration, but I'm going to tell you the way that I have perfected it, quote unquote, for 2024, 2025, leading us into the 2030s. So the first question is one of those that we were doing 20 years ago. And I think it's imperative that a home buyer is able to ask any prospective lender what causes interest rates to go up or down. That's the question. Now, as a lender, I need to be prepared to answer that. And by the way, I'm going to give you all the answer. So whether you're a home buyer, a realtor, or you're a loan officer, here's the only answer that is acceptable. The daily trading of mortgage-backed securities. Period. End of story. Mic drop. Boom. I'm done. That's it. John, you could ask me, hey, Dustin.
Hey, Dustin.
I'm looking to buy a home.
I'm looking to buy a home.
I am choosing my lender.
I'm choosing my lender.
But before I make my choice, I need to ask you a couple questions.
But I got some questions first.
First question.
My first question.
What's going to cause mortgage rates to go up or down?
Why do these interest rates be going up and down? What causes that?
Yep, there's only one answer, John. That is the daily trading of mortgage-backed securities. If anyone tells you anything different, I would question how well they understand my industry. Okay? Now, John, you may hear some people that are going to tell you it's the Federal Reserve. And John, that's just not right. In fact, the Federal Reserve tomorrow is going to be changing their interest rate. There's a good chance that they could lower the interest rate 0.25% and mortgage rates go up that day.
What? Inverse relationship?
No, it's not an inverse relationship. And that's what's crazy. It's just the market trades how the market trades. And the market that I'm talking about is the mortgage-backed security market. Now, John, you'll find some other people. They're going to tell you that mortgage rates follow the 10-year treasury. And man, I got to tell you, that's a close but no cigar type answer. Like, that's a good enough answer. Like, if you want a good enough lender, that's a good enough answer. But if you want a great lender who's dialed in, that lender understands there's only one thing, and that's the daily trading of mortgage-backed securities. In fact, you could take it one step further, John. You could even ask that prospective lender, whether it's me or someone else that you're talking to, what's the market doing today? If they're not subscribing to a service that allows them to monitor what the market's doing today, can they really be the best advisor to you? And then on top of that, if you want to take it one further step, you could even say, in what type of economic information is going to be released this week that could impact the trading of those mortgage-backed securities, which means it could impact whether or not rates go up or down.
You ask those 3 questions to 100% of the loan offers, you're going to cut out the population pool by like 70%.
Okay, so for those 70%, that was for you. Y'all need to understand the answer. You need to have a service that you subscribe to, and you need to be able to articulate what's going to happen coming up this week or next week when it comes to the release of economic data that could impact whether or not mortgage-backed securities go up in price or down in price, right? That is number one. And that was a question that was taught to me in 2004 when I was entering as a rookie originator, which, by the way, I was broke, I was lost, I was scared, I was clueless, and I struggled through my first 2 years until it all started clicking. What I was never negative. I never lost hope, and I never backed down from a challenge. Meaning I got up every morning, put on my uniform, went to work, and I grinded. Even if I didn't fully understand what I was doing and why I was doing it, I did it, and I gave myself enough runway. You too can do that. And if you're in the 70%, then this is my challenge to you. Don't be in the 70%.
Well said, Dustin.
All right. So the next question that I would ask, and I could have made this 5 questions. It may only be 3 because I gave you basically a part B and a part C of the first question. The first question is, what determines whether or not mortgage rates go up or down? Like that was it. By the way, some people may want to throw in inflation. Well, inflation will definitely move the needle on debt instruments, but it's not inflation. That's one of the things. Like the Federal Reserve and their policy is definitely something that would sway what traders do and don't do. But the only answer is the daily trading of mortgage-backed securities, MBSs. Then the follow-up questions that someone could ask is what I shared. It's the what are rates doing today? So you should be able to like pull up a screen, share that screen, and show the red or the green and which direction rates are going. And it's also what economic news is going to be released that's going to impact how traders trade in the future. Okay, so like those could have been 3 questions. Instead, we lumped them into 1. The second question that I think every realtor should ask a lender, every home buyer should ask a lender, and lenders, you should be prepared to answer this. What do you do to ensure my offer is accepted? What do you do to help me negotiate the best deal on that home that I want to purchase? As a lender, you need to be able to give 2 or 3 examples of what you do. And I will tell you, these are my examples. Okay, ma'am or sir, the very first thing that I'm going to do that's going to separate you from other potential buyers of that property is I'm going to call that listing agent and introduce myself. Make sure the listing agent knows up front, this is my contact information. This is at the time that you're submitting the offer. I'm also going to let the listing agent know how much work my team and I put into getting you pre-approved so that they know this isn't just some lame duck offer being submitted with some unknown out-of-state lender, which basically takes away a lot of the probability of it closing on time when you have unknown, because unknown is just unsettling and it's a little bit nerve-wracking. I'm going to take all that out. And by doing so, my experience has told me that a lot of times you can get a seller to choose your offer over an offer that maybe was asking for was actually offering a little bit more, but the offer that was offering more gave that seller an uneasy feeling versus we were able to give the seller confidence because of the conversation I had advocating on your behalf. So first and foremost, please know I'm your advocate. And when you're making an offer, I'm going to call that listing agent, introduce myself, make sure he or she has all my contact information, and I'm going to advocate for you at a minimum so that you can get your offer accepted if we're in a multiple offer situation. But there's been cases where I've learned after the fact that the seller took a lower offer, which was my client's offer, because of this service that I provided.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The second thing that I'll do, and I tend to only do this 2 different times during the transaction.
Okay.
If I'm a little worried, John, that your transaction is paperwork intensive or that it has a lot of moving parts, which by the way, boys and girls, that's my way of saying it's a hard ass file. That's my way of saying, hey, we're going to roll some dice here and hope that we hit 7. You know, we're going to hope that the dice go in our favor, meaning I'm not too confident that you're like a slam dunk because your loan file is paperwork intensive or it has a lot of moving parts. If your file is one of those files, something that my company allows me to do, or if you're a broker, something that one of my investors allows me to do, is I can actually send them your complete file before you find a property, before you go under contract, and they will fully underwrite you based on your income and your assets so that when you're making an offer, not only have you and I taken all the guesswork out of whether or not you qualify, but now we can go to that seller and show them that you are already approved, not pre-approved. You are approved. Here's your commitment letter. And if we do things right, all we're going to need is for you to get homeowners insurance, the title company to do their title search and a title exam, and in most cases, probably get an appraisal. Not in all cases. In some cases, I may get a property inspection waiver or a PIW. But like these are things that I do as a lender to help get offers accepted. So a home buyer should hear that and be like, okay, this guy's or this girl's fighting for me. And these are 2 examples of what they're going to do in order to make sure that my offer is accepted. Because me getting my offer accepted, if you're up in the Northeast where it's still very much a seller's market, that's the difference of you getting your A1 house and not your B3 house. B3 is it's a B property and it's your third choice. A1, it's an A property and it's your first choice. So like that type of work is the difference. And in other markets, it may be the difference of why you're able to get the seller to negotiate $5,000 off of the ask price versus having to pay full ask, right? Well, hey, this offer is a little bit less than what we anticipated, but it's a solid offer. You're right. Why do I know it's solid? Because the lender called me. They gave me the contact information. They walked me through all the work they've done up front, and they've already put this through underwriting, at which point I could offer a quick close if I needed to. So I think that's the second thing that I would want to equip a home buyer with when they go out interviewing other lenders. Do the other lenders advocate for their buyers? Do they help get their offers accepted? And if so, how? If so, how? And if they can't answer how, ding, 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 that's probably not the lender you want to work with, right? If they don't know what's going to cause mortgage rates to go up or down, if they're not tracking the daily trading of MBSs, if they give you the wrong answer, ding, 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 that could be something that worries you. And the third thing, testimonials and reviews. Testimonials and reviews. Hey, how could I hear from other home buyers or borrowers that you've assisted? Right? Because that's the age that we live in. Like, let me ask you a question. If I told you and your wife, John, that you need to go to Otto's High Dive, it's amazing if you love Cuban food. Mm-hmm. Are you going to go just willy-nilly, or do you think you're going to look it up, check out their Yelp reviews before you make your reservation?
Probably look at the Yelp reviews.
Yeah, right? But, I mean, you trust me. I'm a good enough guy. We've known each other for 5 years now.
I know, right?
Like I wouldn't lead you down the wrong path, but you're still going to go to Yelp, right? You're still going to Google. You're still going to look to see what their online presence is like.
Right.
The same thing's happening in the lender world. So if I don't have Zillow reviews or Google reviews or Facebook reviews on Facebook, if I don't have somewhere on my website testimonials from past clients, then like I'm losing that third party validation, at which point now it's guesswork. Now if I'm the consumer, my anxiety level is a little bit higher because I haven't read or seen anything that makes me want to truly believe that John is the expert. So those are the 3 things. If there's 3 questions that I'd want to know coming out of the gate, it would be just that. I have the mortgage-backed security answer. I have the how do you fight, advocate, i.e. help me win my contract. And I also have where can I learn from others that have used your product or your service. That's typically reviews, testimonials, etc.
Right.
Now, if I wanted to add anything else to that, I mean, look, I would love to find a way to have every home buyer understand that this is not a one size fits all, financing. There's not like one loan and that one loan works the same for you as it does for me. So I may want to equip that home buyer with questions to ask every other lender about, how do they separate themselves from other lenders? Would they consider themselves an advisor? And if they are an advisor, can they describe what being an advisor means? So maybe if I want to throw in a bonus question, it would be ask every lender, would you consider yourself an advisor to home buyers? And if so, how do you advise? Because if you ask me that question, whether you're a realtor and you're interviewing me because maybe you're looking for a new lender to refer your home buyers to, or, I'm a loan officer and I'm trying to win as many deals as I can, then I want people to ask me, hey, Dio, how are you an advisor? I'm like, oh, well, first and foremost, I believe there's no such thing as a one-size-fits-all mortgage. I believe mortgages must be tailor-made to match your financial needs, wants, and goals. What I've learned is the lowest interest rate may be the highest payment, and the lowest interest rate may also come with the most closing costs, which may or may not work best for your situation. So please know when you work with me, I'm going to do two things. First, I'm going to make sure we find loan programs that you qualify for. That's important. I know you don't want a mortgage. I know you want a home. I know the mortgage is the byproduct for you to buy this house. Perfect. Second thing is I'm going to make sure you get 3 options. Now, those 3 options are going to be 3 options that you qualify for. They're going to be 3 options that based on our conversation, I feel like best help you achieve your financial needs, wants, and goals. And those 3 options, I'll let you decide which works for you. I'll walk you through the pros and cons. I will answer all your questions, but please know, John, it doesn't matter to me if you choose option A, B, or C. What matters to me is that you were given options. What matters to me is that you close on time. What matters to me is that those options matched your financial needs, wants, and goals and helped you buy the house. I get paid the same regardless if you go A, B, or C. Like that to me is what an advisor is doing. Now, maybe an advisor is also using a total cost analysis by Mortgage Coach, or maybe they have their own Excel spreadsheet that they're using as a way to display the options and walk people through using numbers and graphs why they work. But if there's a bonus question, that bonus question would be as it pertains to being an advisor. Please explain to me how you're an advisor to my buyers if you're a realtor, or if I'm a borrower because I'm looking to borrow money because I'm looking to buy a house, then please explain to me how you are an advisor to your clients and give examples. And then a bonus question I throw out there for realtors is I think every good realtor should be asking every lender that wants to partner with them, how do you plan on helping me make more money? That's a question I think every single realtor should be asking. And by the way, realtors, it's not how much money are you going to give me? RESPA violation right there. It's not about that. It's about how you're going to help me make more money. Because I think as a lender, I've learned this, I've experienced this, and I've lived this. I can help a realtor make more money 3 ways. 3 ways. First and foremost, I can help them generate more leads. How do I help them generate more leads? Well, there's a smorgasbord of ways I can help a realtor generate more leads. Everything from going door knocking with them, something I've actually done, teaching them how to create content, and then how to properly post that content. Maybe we're using a program or a product, but I'm teaching them a hook, a description, a call to action. I'm teaching them 30, 10, 5, 5, 3, 1, which is our formula for success for social selling and online networking. Wherever the case may be, I need to be able to teach them ways to generate more leads. It could be I bought them Michael Mayer's book, 7 Levels of Communication. Again, I'm investing in them, helping them become better lead generators. Okay, the second way is I can help them convert more leads. Well, how do I help someone convert more leads? Well, pretty simply put, I relentlessly pursue all leads until they buy or die. John Coleman refers me, Nikki, the home buyer. I will be following up with Nikki, or a member of my team will be following up with Nikki every week, every month, every quarter, every year until she buys or dies. I'm also going to put that lead that we'll call Nikki into my CRM. And in my CRM, I'm going to co-brand it with the realtor. So that way, behind the scenes, the system through automation is at least getting text messages and emails out to every prospective buyer. My sole goal is to help capture and close more business. And then the last way, the third way, is I can help increase the number of leads that we get from past clients. Well, if I'm partnered with a company like HomeBot, then I can actually have marketing collateral that is very housing related, mortgage finance related. It's pretty slick too, by the way. Shout out to HomeBot. And there's other vendors that offer similar products. I think our friends over at MBS Highway now have a very similar product. But personally, I've used HomeBot and I've had success with HomeBot. But I could use HomeBot as a way to make sure that after we have a past closed client, that I am doing everything in my power to help those people come back to me and that realtor, to have those people refer me and that realtor, their friends, family, neighbors, and coworkers. Those are the three ways that I can help realtors make more money. So when I'm meeting with a realtor, I'm leading with that. If a realtor is meeting with me, I'm going to let every realtor know you should ask every lender how they're going to help you make more money. And if they can't answer that question, I don't know if they're really the best lender for you. They may be a good lender, but they're not a great lender. So those are my questions, John.
Mad inspirational, you can tell.
You are very inspired.
A gummy hit right before the episode
I was going to
started,
say, I saw the big smoke cloud coming out of your BMW.
That's the only way.
And
I
told people on a call last night, shout out to our boy Rocky Lagergio.
Shout out Rocky.
And the MLO study buddy. So every Monday, not every Monday, one Monday a month,
Oh, yeah.
I hop on from like 8 to 9:30 typically, and I just answer questions. They're typically newer loan originators are currently studying for their license. So a lot of those questions revolve around like getting hired and picking the right company and launching their careers, etc. But there is a originator out of Ohio, actually. Oh my gosh, why is his name slipping my mind? But nonetheless, he's like, tell JC I said, what's up?
Oh, all that rigmarole for that?
Well, and then he later said, man, JC seems so unbothered. Is that how he always is?
Oh.
I said, I don't know if he's unbothered or if he literally goes out and he hits the pipe.
I do hit the pipe.
And
but today
he
was the
comes
first
in
time. Yeah.
totally blazed, unfazed, but in the zone.
Yes, always in the zone. But I did eat a gummy for the first time beforehand, but that shit don't do nothing to me, really.
Well, how many milligrams?
I don't know, as many as I could take. As many as I could stuff in my mouth like a damn chipmunk.
And on that note, y'all, look, if you like what we're doing, especially if you just tuned in for the first time, do us a favor. Make sure you're sharing us. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Whether you share us on LinkedIn, you can share us on Facebook, you can give us a 5-star review on both Spotify and on Apple Podcast. Subscribe to our newsletter. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you care about your business and you're ready to invest in your future success, check out what we're doing at the TLOP MLO coaching community. All that information is found on tloponline.com. He is John Coleman. I am Dustin Owen. That's all the time we have for you today, but we do look forward to catching you on the next episode. Peace.